Today we're going to be talking about shoulder impingement. Now, roughly 80% of clients that we see through the clinic who are suffering from shoulder pain will have some form of impingement. This is important to get dealt with quickly, as the impingement itself can lead to rotator cuff strains or tendonitis. So what the impingement actually is obviously an impingement or compression between the humeral head and the acromion bone in the scapula itself. So every time you reach up or reaching forward, you're decreasing the space between the two, causing compression or impingement. Commonly, when people are suffering from an impingement, the shoulder itself will be protracted, brought forward and internally rotated, and that thereby decreases the amount of space between the two. Part of our exercises or stretches that we're going to talk about today are aimed at opening up the chest, bringing the shoulder back, which will in itself increase the space between the two and help decrease the pain. So the first thing we're going to do is focus on the posture, and to do that we're going to do an exercise to strengthen the rhomboids between the shoulder blades. Now all you do is simply draw the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, but also trying to draw them down, so squeezing them together and down. So you'll do that, hold for about 10 seconds and then release, and you'll repeat that 5 times. The second exercise we're going to do is, I'm going to move to a chair or a tabletop. Now all you're doing, you're placing your hand on the chair and you're going to be pushing down in a downward motion, obviously, to draw the hand closer to the body. So I place a hand on the chair, I apply the pressure down, and while I'm maintaining that pressure, I begin to walk back and stretch out and then come back up, maintaining that pressure down. And so I'll repeat that roughly 5 times as well. So that exercise is very good to slightly increase the space between the two, which should give you some relief. As you're doing the exercise, if it feels like it's pinching or it's painful, just stop, as it should be giving you relief as opposed to increasing pain. The second thing we're going to do now is try and create a bit more space through the chest. We'll open the chest up, and so we're going to use the trusty trigger ball. So the first muscle we're aiming for is pec minor. So we've got the shoulder, we've got the clavicle. You just drop down into the pec muscle, like so. You would apply pressure into the muscle. A good way to do this is into an open door frame. So we place the ball into the muscle, into the door frame, and gently push in. We want to aim for roughly a 5 or 6 out of 10, and would hold that pressure for about 30 seconds, okay? You could do the same on the other side if you liked. The next position we're going to use a trigger ball is into the lats. Now rather than reaching out and stretching, as that may trigger your pain or aggravate, we're going to do a trigger ball into the lats. So in the sideline position, just basically drop the ball down beneath the shoulder, keeping the arm still. You would apply pressure in, and once again hold for about 30 seconds, and then you could move slightly and hold for 30 seconds. Now these simple exercises, if done daily, will open up the chest, create more mobility, create a bit more space between the humeral head and the scapula, and hopefully decrease your pain.